Excuse me! Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, 800-848-9222. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Those around former Congressman Eric Swalwell. Now, all of a sudden, wait, I didn't know. I had no idea. He was doing what? Stop the nonsense. Maybe you didn't know that he was drugging and raping women. Maybe you didn't know to that degree. But you knew, you heard the rumblings. Birds of a feather flock together. You're talking to Dominic. You're not talking to somebody that don't know. You had an idea of exactly what he was doing because I'm going to let you folks know today, right? I'm going to put it all out there because nobody's talking about the fact. Again, I'm sure that they didn't know he was allegedly dating and drugging and raping women. But in this society, men high-five each other. That's the truth, based on the conquest of how many women that one may have. It's disgusting, but it is the reality. But we are starting with this. Politics in our country have become so hardened, so bad, that we don't care. We could care less what happens to the other side. We just don't care. In fact, the worse off the other side is, the better. How can we forget just a few months ago, a man trying to bring America together, Charlie Kirk, at a rally in front of hundreds, is shot in the neck, bleeding out, and dies a short time later. And what does the critics do? What do the haters do? Well, you had in Chicago one teacher mocking Charlie Kirk, grabbing her neck like she had been shot during a protest. This man was vilified, crucified, and whatever else you could think of after he was shot in the neck sitting on a chair in front of hundreds at a rally. So he's gone, his kids, daddy's not there, and it leaves his wife, Erica Kirk. And to her credit, she has vowed to continue Charlie Kirk's work, and it's admirable what she's doing. But it's utterly disgusting that this woman is now receiving death threats after she had to deal with the situation of burying her husband, the man that she called her soulmate. And now she's getting death threats. And it's so serious for Erica Kirk, for the widow, for the mother. And the other side doesn't care. All we care about is we want to stab, wound, jab the other side because they're wrong on the issues. Everybody's not wrong, folks. But it's so bad. I've never been to Athens, Georgia. I've been to Atlanta many times. I've been to Savannah. I want to get to Athens. I want to see a Georgia Bulldogs football game. They rank very well every year. They win the national championship. But she was set to appear in Athens with the Vice President of the United States, Vice President Vance. And we know what that means, all the Secret Service that entails. Erica Kirk, because of serious threats against her life, backed out of the event. It went on with the vice president and someone sitting in for her, but she was not there. This is how bad, how polarized politics are in our country. The vice president at the event explaining that she was not there.
First of all, I love Erica, and I know that she did get some threats. And, about 2 hours ago, as you know, Andrew, I was a little worried that we were going to have to cancel the event because Erica was not going to come, and she was very worried about it. And I talked to the Secret Service, and obviously these guys do a very good job. And I said, you know what? Let's let Erica do what she needs to do for herself and her family. I'm sure Andrew will fill in. And let's go and make this an amazing event with the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens, Georgia. So absolutely we're going to do this thing. But look, I mean, in so many ways, you know, when did Charlie die? It was mid-September, I believe.
September 10th.
And in the past, that's right, it was the day right before September 11th. And in so many ways, the past 6 or so months have been two separate living hells for Erica Kirk. And the first is, of course, that she lost her husband.
And so the vice president explaining that she was not going to be at the event in Athens. Folks, this has to stop. It has to stop. People can agree to disagree on political issues. The other side is not you, the devil, where you wish them harm and so on. But this is where politics are in our country. And I want to know, how do we fix it? How do we mend the divide? How do we get there? Eric Swalwell, I didn't know, I had no idea. I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know. From Nancy Pelosi and on, I didn't know. Everybody declares they didn't know. Listen to this news report.
I care about is, number one, stopping the lies that are happening about me and about my family. Everyone else can make their political calculations. Fact is, this has been awful. It's been an awful situation for the victims. It's been an awful situation, again, for Eric's family. It's been an awful situation for my family. We've been betrayed. We were lied to repeatedly and manipulated for many years.
Well, you just heard from Arizona Senator Ruben Gallegos speaking out about his former close friend and fellow Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell amid some very serious allegations of sexual misconduct.
So Gallego is telling reporters he feels, quote, betrayed, as we just heard, saying Swalwell lied to him and his family and denied any knowledge of the accusations against him. Gallego also denying that he was the man in a video posted to social media this week that shows Eric Swalwell in bed with a woman.
Senator, there was a video online that surfaced of Eric Swalwell making out with a woman sitting next to someone. Was that you sitting next to him?
This is an example of the lies. No, I was not sitting next to him. I was not in the room. I was nowhere. I don't even know where it happened. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Chris LaCivita and a bunch of other right-wing political operatives are pushing this narrative that somehow I was in that room with Eric Swalwell, and that is an absolute lie.
So everybody from Nancy Pelosi on down, I didn't know. You knew. Maybe you didn't know that he was drugging and allegedly raping women, but you knew. And for the men around this, cut it out. Ladies, here's the truth. Men in private high-five each other, right? And wink, wink, nod, nod, based on how many women they're sleeping with. That's a fact. And anybody that tells you different is lying to you, or they don't know what they're talking about. Men in private high-five each other. Yeah, you see that one? I slept with that one. You see this one? I slept with her. You see her? I'm about to sleep with her. It's a conquest. It's wrong, but it exists. And anybody that's saying you didn't know, you heard the rumors about this guy, and he probably bragged to you. He didn't tell you the full details of what he was doing, and we see all your telephone calls. We're about to get to them. He didn't tell you the full details of allegedly drugging and raping, but he said, oh, she wants me. I slept with her. That's what men do. Ladies, that's the truth. I'm sorry to tell you the truth like that, but you know what time it is, ladies. You know exactly what happens here. I want you to listen to this. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller sounding off on the former congressman.
Has the president said anything about Swalwell? I don't know if he said anything. Has he been following that?
Why, has he had a bad week, Jesse? I haven't been watching.
He might be busy with bigger matters of war and peace.
Couldn't have happened to a better person. But look, here's the most important thing, if we have 10 seconds on this, and I'm sure you would agree with this. The most important part about this story, and look, Swalwell is a scumbag. He is a terrible person, the worst of the worst, the lowest of the low, the most dishonest and the most dishonest. But the real story here is how the Democrat Party controls its members through blackmail. It's got a blackmail file on all of its politicians, and it uses them to leverage and control them until it's time to release it. That is how sick and twisted the Democrat Party is. That's the next thread we've got to pull out here, Jess.